Good morning, everybody. Last night I finally had some more time to spend online with my new favorite vampire. My goal for this session, I usually set myself a specific goal when I play so that I don't end up playing forever. I wanted to get to at least Juggernaut, and then in the next video I'm going to go the last two ranks into orange ranks with Vindicator. What I wanted you to notice about this session and the reason I showed some of these games is that I actually felt that I started out playing really poorly. You can already tell here I'm messing up combos, my movement was stale, and then it gradually sort of got better as I went along. I hadn't been playing online for about 2 days when I made this, so maybe it was rust, I don't know. But the last two games, I hope you stick around for those because they ended up being a lot of fun and I actually got to play two really good players as well, which is always great. But you can tell I'm playing against Miguel here. Unfortunately for my opponent, it happens to be a character I know a little bit about. He makes a great decision there of trying to go over one of my fireballs with a slash kick, running 3 for Miguel. That's a very good choice. If you're struggling with fireballs and you want a good way to counter them, if you can predict when you can actually go over them with a slash kick with a lot of characters. And having said that, in the next game we're going to watch, that very thing is actually going to come into play in an interesting way, so keep that in mind for now. But you can tell here, I go in, get some guaranteed damage, and then for no reason I actually get up 3, which in that situation was kind of embarrassing, shouldn't really happen. And he's able to take the round with a quick combo off of the get up 3 there, so that was not good. Kind of like random Moonglide 3-4 there. It was easily sidesteppable by my opponent, so you know, even though I feel like this is definitely something that I should be able to win quite easily, I just keep on messing it up. Some offensive poking here from Miguel, which is the space in which that character excels. You know, he's referred to as a momentum-based poker, which I think is a very good description of him. And here I'm just going to eat that down back 1. It's a great low for Miguel. It leads to a lot of guaranteed damage potentially. It can be launch punished if you react to it, but it's hard. I think that move really worked out for Miguel in this game. It's one of his most important assets, and it's really a good low in the sense that it's not obnoxiously powerful. It just leads to a bit of damage, and then you can convert into a bit more damage when you have the rage drive. So I actually think that's a pretty good implementation as compared to the disaster that is Xiao Yu's rage drive, which just launches you with an unseeable low for no reason. The compromise is supposed to be that she's in back turn when she does it, but then Xiao Yu happens to always be in back turn, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But now I'm making a little bit of a comeback here. I'm still not playing beautifully by any stretch of the imagination. That's a quick conversion option when I don't want to get awkward wall splats. I do off of Moonglide 3-4 sometimes. It's a decent block and punish. I whiff punish with the EX dive kick. EX dive kick, more and more I feel is just such an important move for Eliza. You're going to see in this session just how much mileage I get off of the EX dive kick, but it just has such amazing properties in terms of hitbox, in terms of everything else, so can't recommend that move enough. Now this Chloe player here, I actually ended up playing 2 or 3 times in a row, so I got the promotion match right away, so you didn't miss anything in between here. But I talked about in the previous match that a lot of people try to go over fireballs with slash kicks, and Chloe has famously good slash kick, her running 3, where she jumps up really high, so it's a good tool for going over fireballs, and my opponent was actually trying to do that a lot in the previous game we played, and that's going to come into play in the second round here, because what I actually do is, I had seen my opponent really like to do that, so I throw a fireball, and then I immediately start sidewalking left, because that running 3 from Chloe is famously sidesteppable to the left. And just like I anticipated, my opponent runs in with the running 3, and I'm able to sidestep it and get a whiff punish. So you're going to see that happen in this round right here. You can see I eat the back turn launcher for no reason, because I was moving poorly, I guess. And now I have to make a comeback here, right? Dive kick 4 into 1+2 throw. Very, very good uninterruptible setup. Super, super good. But you can see, yeah, it's really on me to do the comeback here. So I do a fireball, and then instead of doing another one, I just sidewalk left and my opponent comes running in and I'm able to whiff punish, which was more or less the reason I was able to take that round. So I thought it was a good example of how you can pick up on patterns in your opponent's behavior and then condition them to do, you know, something that you want them to, which is a very good way to play Tekken. Now I feel like he's kind of just looking for random hits with stuff, I don't know. No, he's playing a pretty decent Chloe here. He's like using the appropriate moves. He's doing some decent combos. That low I actually think is pretty good. I think it's a down forward 4 with Chloe. It's a very decent low actually. It's just fast enough, it does a good chunk of damage. And there you can see he does the slash kick over the fireball, and this time he gets it perfectly, so it's a good example of that actually being a good strategy. So if you're one of those people who feel very frustrated about fireballs in Tekken 7, that's one thing you could practice doing. I wasn't going to try and combo there because the launch was, I didn't hit him in a standing state, so the combo was going to whiff. Down 4, one of the best lows ever, absolutely love it. And just Moonglide 2 for the whiff punish there for the finish, so yeah, it's another great move with Eliza. And I get that promotion, so far I feel like I'm playing a little bit sloppy. Next we're going to play this King. I've said before I hate playing against King online because I feel like I'm playing in quicksand. He's very good at just making you feel claustrophobic. But you know, we're obviously still playing at low rank, so it's, you know, it's not like I'm super nervous about these games or anything, but it's more about not being sloppy and not you know, messing up enough that I'm giving away games for free. And there he gets me with that low launcher, which you should always react to, but he actually got it. It was kind of like an unintentional whiff punish because I happened to be recovering from another move when I hit. That was dive kick 3, which is a move I've been using a little bit more lately. It actually hits grounded opponents, like you saw right there. Very good stuff. I'm able to steal that round with a throw. I was about to lose it. That's not a string you want to finish randomly on experienced players because they're going to duck it like I did right there. And I feel like oh, right there again, what I was going to say is against King, he has some highs you really want to duck, namely his throws. They are important to duck and punish. And we talked about in my recent King video about how he substitute his lack of lows with throws. So he actually sometimes wants you to try and duck his throws, and that's when you got to be careful about stuff like hop kick. But yeah, it's important to duck King throws. There I did it again, but the punish wasn't what I should have done. Mess up that combo, very unfortunate. And there I tried to duck another one of those strings. I got the while standing 3. And I finished with the throw again. I actually really like throwing King because he's the grappling character, you know, so it feels like a little bit of a middle finger. I don't know why. Next we're going to play this Lily. It wasn't an exceptional game or anything, but I just kind of liked his cosplay. It's obviously supposed to be Morrigan from Darkstalkers, and I thought he did a good job on that. Compared to the Lily we played in the previous session on Eliza, who was just trying to hit me with big lows and was being very spammy, this guy was actually quite a bit better, playing a bit more like a pokey Lily, not, you know, constantly spamming cartwheels. So this was a much more enjoyable game. There you can see I was actually trying to sidewalk the cartwheel, and even though I was sidewalking it, it actually hit. It seems like it has some tracking to the left side, or maybe my timing was off. But you should always be sidewalking, looking for that cartwheel when you're playing against Lily in a spaced out position, because it's always going to be top of her mind, so it should be top of yours as well. He just randomly did a hop kick, but I was ducking right there, so he caught me. And now he's put me in the corner, and he's going to take that round with some some pokes right there. Should have punished that hop kick much harder. Is it minus 12 or 13? I forget, but I was able to get a lot more there. I should have done, if possible, you know. What you want to do there is really a one jab into Shoryuken 2, but that's not really something I've implemented in terms of punishment into my Eliza game yet, which is sad because it's such a great option. So that's something I'm gonna work on. And there you can see the amazing hit properties of the EX dive kick. Even though I'm at an angle and my opponent is in the middle of a move in the air, I still just completely beat that move and get my launch. So EX dive kick with Eliza is a fantastic tool. That's the finish right there, is the down for the 1-4, which is my favorite poke string with Eliza. It's amazing. The second hit is a duckable high, but not many people know that, which is great for Eliza. This is one of the good games I was talking about. I played a good Raven player. It was really enjoyable. It was a really cool game. I always love Raven if I'm playing her or against her. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. I think she's interesting, complex, cool to look at. And yeah, just a really cool character overall. I wish I was better at actually playing her. You can see I completely mess up my combo there, and then my opponent gets a launch and he does not mess up his combo. He does exactly what he wants to here. Spikes me down, and now he's piling on the down threes, which is one of the fastest lows in the game. It's ridiculously fast. I think it's actually fast enough that you might be able to get it guaranteed when you spike people with Raven at the wall, but I haven't tested that. But here you can see in the second round I get 2 fast whiff punishes with down for 2-3, which means that I'm able to completely establish dominance in the second round. And now I'm in the corner, so I just opt out with the EX dive kick. Great option when you're feeling pressured. I was too slow on the whiff punish right there. That's a counter hit string with Raven. It's better to eat the low than risk eating that counter hit low. And you can see what he's doing here is a great technique with Raven that only good Raven players do, which is to do a crouch dash into a while standing 2, looking for the counter hit. And that's difficult to do because you have to do one of those special crouch dashes where you have access to while standing moves. And that's something only people who have quite a bit of experience with crouch dash characters do properly. So yeah, it was a very decent player. Again, EX dive kick into Moonglide 2 there for the finish. This last round was pretty cool because my opponent completely destroys me in the beginning here, and then I make a pretty spectacular comeback at the end, which I thought, you know, cool comebacks is always fun. And it's an example of why you should never give up. Catch him with Moonglide 3-4. I think he was sidestepping, but it's a homing move. And look at this, he has a really good setup for his while standing 2 counter here. Right there, that was beautiful. Now I'm in the corner, I have no life left, so I'm in a lot of trouble. I decided to stay grounded here, not to eat the Oki. And I opt out with the dive kick. And I'm able to collect the round, so that was fun, that was a lot of fun, not gonna lie. And Eliza's Rage Art is just one of the coolest ones in the game. Like, along with like Miguel and Jin, I think it's one of the best. Now, this last game was really the most fun game of the session. This Geese guy right here, I've played him a lot of times online. I think he lives in the same area as me. We sort of know each other, but we've only played each other online. We've never talked. And he's playing Geese here. We both get a promotion match at the exact same time. And you can see he's on a 9-win streak right here. He's playing with a lot of momentum. He's super confident. And another thing about me is because I was traveling and a lot of other things, like for the first month or so of Geese being released in Tekken 7, I almost played no online. So I don't know enough about Geese to play against him effectively. And you can tell how I just get destroyed in the first round there. I sidestep into a whiff punish at the beginning of the round there, which is always a good strategy. It's always a good idea to try and do. It's going to work on all levels of play, because a lot of people, no matter what level you play at, like to jab at the beginning of rounds, and jabs are generally sidesteppable. So collect the down 4 there. Yeah, and I'm able to get the guaranteed Moonglide 4 after the Power Crush, which allowed me to take that round. Another great tool that I've been using more, and it's so good that you get that guaranteed damage tacked on the end. It makes the risk worth it. And here, you know, these geese mix-ups I don't know about. I don't know in what situations that ground throw is guaranteed. If you know, I would really like to know. Is it always guaranteed? Or is it there's some way you can get out there? I just don't know yet. And so yeah, I eat a lot of shit in the 3rd round here. And now this is where I felt like I wanted to turn up the tempo, and I just played a little bit more aggressive, and that really turned out to work in my favor. Get a good wall splat into a solid wall combo right there. He decides to get fancy and try and like parry me and stuff. I'm not going to fall for that, and so I get the perfect. And here I get the EX dive kick over to the wall, simple little combo, and another EX dive kick goes over the low jab, and that was pretty much my game. So that was a decent little session. I really enjoyed the last 2 games, and in the next video we're going to try and go for orange, so I hope you're looking forward to that. But for now, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.